Welcome once again. Today's movie is called Trash. The movie starts with a boy named Rafael, who lives in a small town in Brazil. His job is to collect garbage in the city. Here, we see a video of Rafael trying to shoot someone, but he fails. After that, Rafael tells us his own story. Now, the scene shifts to a man named George, who is going through a deep sadness because his daughter Pia, who is only 10 years old, has died, and he is taking her to bury her in a coffin. But he is very scared of something, and that is why he looks more scared than sad when burying her. George comes back home, where he finds out that the police have arrived in town. Seeing this, he calls someone and warns them to leave there. George keeps a photo of his daughter in his wallet, and a key that we don't know what it is for. When George sees the police, he starts running away. But at that time, the police were already inside George's house. George quickly goes out of the window and starts running from the lobby. But then a bullet hits his leg, which was fired by the officer, and because he is injured, he can't run anymore. Just then, he sees a garbage truck on the side, so George quickly throws his purse into it, while the police also see him, but they can't reach him. But here, George's hand was already on the truck. After that, we see the same truck going to the city's biggest dumping yard, where there were many boys who collect trash. Here, for the first time, we see Rafael. This is the same person we saw at the beginning of the story. Now he starts picking up trash, and his luck is so good that he finds the purse. But before opening it, he requests something from the higher power that he finds some money in it, and it actually happens. So George quickly calls his friend John and tells him about it, and then they both divide the money equally. But after he leaves, Rafael searches inside the purse and finds George's job card, driving license, his daughter's photo, and keys. There was a strange key that plays an important role in this story. In the next scene, we see a sheriff named Freddy who hurts George a lot and keeps asking him about the same purse, but George doesn't say anything. The story continues, and we meet an American girl who runs an NGO and tries to teach the children in the slum how to read and write, and she has been doing it for many years. Slowly, they are improving, and she even gives them food and drinks. Meanwhile, some cars come to the slum, and Freddy is in one of them. He came here to find that purse. He tells the poor people that if anyone finds a red-colored purse, they should return it to him. In return, they will get a big reward. But nobody knew about this. But when Rafael hears about it, his face changes color. Rafael starts thinking about what could be so special in that purse that everyone is looking for it so desperately. Then his friend John asks him what is special about that purse. Freddy says that something is very important for us. He can solve many cases if someone knows about that purse, so let us know. In return, you will get $1,000. Now when John hears this, he looks at his friend Rafael, but he denies it with gestures. But Freddy understands this and has a slight suspicion about him, but he leaves from there for now. But Rafael says that his mom always told him to never trust any policemen. That's why I refused him. He never gives us any money. Now it's nighttime, and both of them go to their other friend with that purse and tell him everything, saying that he tells them that first they have to know about this key. There is a key to something, and it has a name and a number written on it. They go to the city using that key. When they reach the city, they find a locker, but there are police officers standing near the locker. If they try to open it, they will be caught. But John makes a plan. He steals a girl's purse and starts running, and all the police officers chase him. Taking advantage of this, they open the locker and find a letter and some photos of Pia. There are also some numbers written behind the photos. They think that there might be something valuable or some money inside it, but there isn't. They feel sad and go back home. But their friend, who is a detective, says that there might be a secret behind the numbers and the letter. We should gather more information about it. We shouldn't give up so easily. If something big is revealed, we can become millionaires. So the three of them go directly to Olivia's house, where she is talking to someone outside, and they start searching about a person named Climate on her laptop. This is the same person who received the letter with their name on it. They know that this person is a lawyer, but the police are looking for them because they did something very wrong. No one knows where they are. They print out all their information and run away from there. On the other side, Freddy, who is watching everyone in the slum, notices that he hasn't seen both of these kids for a long time. He asks a boy about them and finds out that they haven't been here for many days. Then Freddy starts to suspect something. That night, Freddy plans to wake them up. They were talking about the same person, and Raid says that he thinks this person could be a serial killer who is in jail. But John doesn't believe him and goes outside to play a game. But then he sees Raphael, who some police officers were forcefully taking away. He follows them, but can't catch them, and then he runs to Father. There is a father who takes care of an organization called NGO. He tells them everything and says we should find it. The father goes to the police station immediately and starts asking about it. But even the police officers didn't know anything about it because Raphael was not brought to the police station. On the other hand, we see that the police officers drop Raphael off at Freddy's place, where he asks him if he has found a purse. But Raphael stays quiet and refuses to answer. Then he locks him in the car and hits him very hard, causing Raphael to get hurt badly. After a while, he takes him out of the trunk and asks the same question again about the purse. But Raphael's answer is still the same. He doesn't know. Hearing this, Freddy gets very angry and orders his fellow officer to take him behind and shoot him. The officer points a gun at him, but he can't do it and shoots him on the side instead. In the end, Freddy wants the orphan child to die a little in hell, so he lies to him and tells him that he is dead. When morning comes, some people see that Raphael is injured, and they quickly kick him inside the NGO. Father quickly bandages him and asks him if he has money, but he refuses them too. Now John, who is his friend, is told by his family not to stay with Raphael so that he doesn't get into trouble. But John doesn't listen to his family and goes to him, promising that he will not leave him as long as he is alive. And this is called friendship. Now, after a few days, all three boys decide to go and meet the man with the letter who is currently in jail. Now here, John lies to Olivia, saying that he has to go to the city for a few days to meet his grandfather. But John requests Olivia to come with him because she is an American and Americans are quite influential here, so they will be allowed to meet that man. Now Olivia agrees, and then they change their clothes and leave with Olivia. But Raid and Raphael lie to her and leave, saying that they have to roam around the city. But that doesn't happen. Because they wanted to find out about a key and a number, they went to a bungalow where George used to work. Olivia used her passport to go inside the jail, and there she saw a person named Clement, who had become old, but he refused to admit that he knew the boy. Olivia couldn't understand his language because he was speaking in Portuguese. John lied and said that he was his grandfather, but his plan was failing. But then John goes to Clement and tries to explain to him. But when he starts to tell him the things written in the same letter, the old man starts crying, which makes Olivia go and sit next to him. Then the old man says, "What else do you know? Tell me everything." So John starts reading the letter and finds out where George used to work years ago. He was a mafia businessman who had a lot of money. Once upon a time, a man named George did something very wrong. He stole money and some important papers because he was being very dishonest and causing trouble in the city. After stealing the money, he quit his job and went back home. But a few days later, his daughter got very sick, and one day she said goodbye to the world. An old man says that his granddaughter is George's daughter. This old man is George's father, and since then, the mafia has been giving George a hard time because of the money. But no one knows where the money is except George. After that, the old man starts to trust everything he says, and he tells John that now he is the only one he can trust. But I also don't know where the place is where George hid the money. But at the same time, he tells one of his men that when the boy leaves here, give him my Bible, which has all the answers to his questions. With the help of the Bible, he will have to solve some puzzles, for which he first needs that Bible, which is with the old man's friend. But Olivia, standing on the side, doesn't understand anything. What is actually happening here? That's why when Olivia comes home, she asks about it, but he doesn't tell her anything either. Then Raphael says to shoot a video of what Freddy did to us. So she agrees and makes a video in which Raphael tells that Freddy tried to kill him, but he survived because his friend saved him. She posts this video on the internet, and soon there is a big uproar. Everyone starts to insult Freddy. Meanwhile, Freddy also watches the video and immediately goes home. But before he can, all three of them leave from there. But Freddy finds the same red purse at Olivia's house, which makes him understand that the boys already know about the money. He asks Olivia about their location, but she doesn't know where they went and what is actually happening. In anger, Freddy orders to burn down the entire slum. We see the whole slum burning, causing thousands of people to become homeless, and everything they had for living and eating burns down. There were 3 children who were going to the city, but they needed some money because a man who had a Bible was asking for money from them. So John went to his father's house and took all the money he had, but he also left a poster there. When they saw the poster, they understood that John had done it, but they didn't know why he did it. Then Raphael explained his plan to everyone, especially to John, who needed to go to that man to get the Bible. He told him not to fight with him because the police were looking for them. And yes, first take the Bible and then give the money. But it goes the other way around. John starts giving the money first and thinks he will run away with the Bible without giving any money. Although he is successful in doing that, the police arrive and catch that man. But John managed to escape. After some time, they all meet again in one place. And now their next step is to solve the puzzles behind the numbers written on that photo. Now Raphael starts, and he first looks at that number. The first number was 990, which means page number 990. After that came chapter 4. Next was 3, which means point number 3. And finally number 10, which meant the 10th word of the 3rd line. Now, one thing was common in all of these things, and that was the names of different animals, like Babool, cow, which reminded Raphael of the lottery that he found in George's purse. He matched the lottery number written in front of the animal, which was pointing towards a location. Suddenly, John comes there and tells them that the police have arrived. They immediately start running away, but in a hurry, they couldn't erase that number, and Freddy sees it. He understands everything. Meanwhile, Raphael reaches the graveyard. He hides and tries to find the solution to the puzzle. During that time, he finds a photo of Jesus in his hand, which he found inside the same purse. Then he realizes that George's daughter was closest to him, and even after his death, the money must be near her. That's why he starts searching for Pia's grave. There was a Raphael. He would go to a Pia's grave place where he could pray and ask for things. But at that time, when he was praying, she saw a scary person behind her. Yes, friends, this is true. Pia had never died before, until George, a police officer, came and gave her food. She would come here and get food, but after he left, she would still be hungry. So she asked Raphael, who had food, but then Freddy, a bad person, came and caught both of them. He told them to dig a hole. They started digging and found lots of money and a special register that was worth more than the money. When Freddy saw this, he called the mafia boss and said he didn't get the money, but he got the register. Pia came from behind and attacked Freddy, making him fall. Then Raphael took the gun from him and taunted him. This is the same scene we saw at the beginning of the story. Now, after seeing all this, John says to kill it, but Raphael doesn't do that. He takes it away in the same condition, taking all the money with him, and goes back to the slum, where he first returns all the money to the father and then goes to the highest point in the slum and flies some money away so that the people whose houses were burnt because of him can rebuild their homes and fulfill their needs. Everyone was very happy to see so much money. But here, 3 became 4 with them. And now Pia was also present with them, so they went far away from the city to an island where they have fun with the remaining money. But here, the father and Olivia were worried about where the children went. They also get a register with the money, in which the real truth of the story is hidden. The register had all the details about Santo, who was a mafia, where he had done corruption. All that information was in that register. Along with the money, the father and Olivia upload all those details online, causing chaos in the entire city. Everyone knows that there is a lot of corruption happening here. The people of the whole city come out on the streets and arrest the mafia, who has now become a politician. Everyone in the city had one question: where are the children? Everyone was looking for these 3, but they were enjoying their lives. And that's how the story ends. Friends, how did you like the rest of the video? Make sure to let us know by liking and commenting. We will meet you in our next video.